So, approximately 18 years ago, I had symptoms of fatigue, hair loss, constipation, and always freezing cold. So, I went to my primary care physician, and through blood work, he diagnosed me with hypothyroidism based on my blood values being abnormal. He placed me on Synthroid medication, which I took every morning. 3 months later, I followed up and had additional blood work done. He also manually palpated and evaluated my thyroid gland, which indicated that I had a nodule plus many other smaller nodules on my thyroid. He indicated I needed to have a fine needle biopsy done to rule out cancer, which it did rule out, but I was diagnosed with Hashimoto's thyroiditis, which is a autoimmune disorder, hypothyroidism. It basically is my immune system is attacking my thyroid gland. So my management for my hypothyroidism is I take a medication called Synthroid every morning at the same time on an empty stomach, and I don't eat or drink anything for about an hour. I also just pay close attention to my body's symptoms so that if I start feeling these symptoms that I have felt earlier, I can return to the doctor, have blood work done, and get evaluated if my Synthroid medicines need to be adjusted. So overall, having hypothyroidism doesn't change too much. You just need to be compliant, taking your medication as it's prescribed, follow up with your physician for your blood work to make sure the dosage is correct for you. If your levels are within normal range, you feel normal. But I do pay close attention so I can get back to the doctors if I need to for additional blood work and evaluation.
I was initially diagnosed with hypothyroidism after a annual physical and the blood work that came from that physical because of my family's strong history of hypothyroidism. In addition to the normal blood work, they also test for the synthroid hormones. And based on a 2-year trend of my levels being indicative of hypothyroidism, they decided to give me the diagnosis of hypothyroidism at the age of 19. Symptoms-wise, the only thing that I really had was fatigue, but no other symptoms were present. Really, the only thing that allowed them to make that diagnosis was the preemptive testing of my hormones. To manage, they sent me to a endocrinologist to manage my medication, levothyroxine or Synthroid, and I take a dose which is based off my hormone levels based off the blood work done, and I take that Synthroid every morning on an empty stomach. And essentially what that does is level out my hormones. There's really no other action that needs to be done to treat the condition. The condition really isn't that bad. It really doesn't affect me in any way. The only thing it really does is I just have to take one more pill in the morning. The medicine really just handles the imbalance that your body has to the point where it doesn't really affect me in any way whatsoever.
I had hyperthyroidism. When I was 26 years old, my symptoms were losing weight, nervousness, hot flashes, not sleeping, rapid heartbeat. I went to an endocrinologist who diagnosed me with hyperthyroidism. I went on Synthroid and was on Synthroid for years, and then I decided to have my thyroid taken out. And instead of having an operation, I chose to have radiation. The radiation took a lot of it out, and I went to hypothyroidism, which slowed me down a lot, but they put me on more Synthroid, and everything was fine. I take Synthroid tablets every day. I also go to the doctor every 6 months for blood work and to see him, and that's it. Well, the Synthroid has taken over the thyroid, and I'm fine. Everything's worked out fine.